Pop a top for the working man. Woo, 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 woo. Irrit, Chaddy, irrit, Bob, Chaddy, irrit, Chaddy, irrit, Bob it, woo, woo. Chaddy Bobcast, episode 34, Bo Jackson, woo. 34 episodes deep, deeper than a fat bitch's belly button, baby. Deeper than my belly button. I ain't no bitch, but I got a fat belly button. So deeper than that, all right? Episode 34 of the Chaddy Bobcast. Look here. Anybody that's listening to this, fucking love you, okay? If you're new to the channel or new to the whatever, if you found this on WikiLeaks or fucking Netflix or wherever the hell this is uploaded to, I don't even know. I give it to Anchor, and they do all of it. It could be going to some Russian mob, and they're doing the like scientific studies on my English. You know, you don't know where it's going, but wherever it's at, and you found it, you're fucking amazing. I love you. Episode 34, man. BoKnowsHoes. BoKnowsHoes. Yeah, we've done 34 of these bitches, man. Now, before we get started, I want to thank everybody, obviously, but I want to make an announcement. If you're watching this via YouTube on the Triple FLIX Mafia channel, okay, from here on out, all of my YouTube uploads of this podcast will be on a Chaddy Bobcast YouTube channel. I've created a channel specifically for the Chaddy Bobcast. I did that because it'll be more uniform, and I'm also going to upload clips from certain episodes and stuff like that. The link will be in the description box. So do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. This will be the last Bobcast that'll be going up on the Triple FLIX Mafia YouTube, okay? From here on out, all of it will go to the actual Chaddy Bobcast YouTube channel. So we're still going to upload content on the Triple FLIX channel, whether it be movie reviews, out and abouts, countdowns, whatever we end up doing. Tony does collection updates. Those will still be going up on there. The Bobcast will be on its own specific YouTube channel. It just makes more sense, especially with me going to be going back to doing weekly uploads. We'll just keep it that way, okay? Whew, I just ran out of breath. Good thing I popped the top for the working man. It's too bad it ain't no alcoholic beverages. We ain't popping them with some Mountain Dew. Because ain't no Meliellas in cans no more. I don't know what happened. Hashtag thanks Rona. Fucking. Yeah. Too bad it ain't no cherry one. Ooh, that's cherry flavored. So yeah, man. Bo Jackson. 34 episodes in, dude. It happens, dude. What we're trying to do our best, man. We're living our best life, and we ain't got no time for you haters. You know what I mean? I love the shit out of you. All of you. Every single one of you. But again, we're just going to stick with the audio stuff. It's just easier for me. I upload so many videos anyways on all my other 74 channels and Facebook and fucking MySpace and all this other shit that I do. So my podcast for the foreseeable future are only going to be audio. There may be a point where I can incorporate some guests and stuff like that. I'm going to work on that and see how that goes in the future possibly. But it just makes more sense, to be honest, to do it audio, because that's how most people take the content in anyways, is on audio. So that gives me an excuse to not work as hard. You know what I mean? So salute to that. Salute to shortcuts. Pop a top for the working man, baby. Like a rock. What was that, Ford? Fuck out of here, Ford drivers. Fuck at it. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Meliella, man. Too bad they only sell it in 2-liter bottles, which, what psychopath is still buying 2-liter bottles of soda and screwing the top on tight and hoping it doesn't go flat for a week? Like, get your shit together and get cans or bottles, like individuals. Get you some individual life. You know what I'm saying? Live your individuals. Fucking 2-liter bottles. Fuck at it. What am I, 8 years old? Pouring it in a fucking Berenstain Bears cup? A plastic one? Red Solo cup. That Toby Keith is a piece of shit. And he doesn't have any talent. I hate Toby Keith. I hate Toby Keith. I hate Toby Keith. All right, into we are here for breaking news, ladies and gentlemen, from the HollywoodReporter.com via Friday the 14th in our Triple FLIX Mafia group chat. In an unprecedented announcement, Warner Brothers is smashing their box office windows and will send their entire 2021 slate to HBO Max and theaters. So yeah, in English, you know what that means? I'm going to let you know. Call me Jets. In my unprecedented announcement, the studio will send 17 films, including The Matrix 4, The Suicide Squad, and Dune, to its streaming service for 31 days, the same day they hit theaters. So basically, when the movie drops in the theaters, HBO Max is going to get it, and you can watch it via HBO Max. Now, a lot of people are pissed off about this, but my thing is this: as a movie theater goer, like my theater is Regal, and they're closed down right now. I'm cool with it. Now, I know it's going to be one of those things, though, where you're going to have to pay extra money. I'm already a subscriber to HBO Max. I got it just for South Park, Curb Your Enthusiasm, and Reno 911. Anything else is a bonus. So, I'm cool with it. However, if it's certain movies, now I'm going to read you some of the movies that are going to be on these 2021 releases. A lot of these motherfuckers don't sound like they're going to be worth dog shit. But let's go. 21 studio slate includes projects such as The Suicide Squad, The Matrix 4, Dune. Now, Dune looked dope. I know it's like a rehash like everything else is. Matrix 4, I like the first Matrix. It confuses the shit out of me, but I saw the second two one time. I need to rewatch them. Godzilla vs. Kong, I am excited for that one. Space Jam: A New Legacy, don't give the first frogs fat ass about watching that. Other films include Little Things, Judas, and The Black Messiah, Tom and Jerry, stop it, Mortal Kombat rehash, Those Who Wish Me Dead, don't know what that is, but it may be good. The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It, definitely want to see that one. In the Heights is like a Broadway, fuck out of here. Reminiscence, Malignant, The Many Saints of Newark, King Richard, and Cry Macho. All of that, those last five go fuck themselves. Whatever those are, just the titles alone. The unprecedented move is likely to catch theater owners off guard and upsets a model that has been in place for decades. Warner Brothers stresses that these are pandemic-only rules, but once something is broken, can you really put it back together again? This also raises serious concerns about the landscape of movie-going in 2021. The South Park episode continues, ladies and genitals. We're living in unprecedented times which call for creative solutions, including this new initiative for the Warner Brothers Pictures Group, said Ann Sarnoff. Ann Sarnoff, fuck yourself, chair and CEO of Warner Media. Put me on your screeners list so I can get some of your movies. No, I'm just gonna. I'll check out some of these, but it's one of those deals where if it's like $25 to rent it, fuck yourself. I'll wait till it comes out on 4K and just buy the bitch. I do want to see Wonder Woman 1984. I do want to see the new Conjuring. But as far as Warner Brothers titles, there's not a lot. The Godzilla vs. Kong, Suicide Squad, yeah, sure. But the other ones, Dune, cool. I don't know what these other ones are. And I know one of them is a musical, and stop it. I mean, I don't want to hear a bunch of white people rap musical shit like that one dude does in Hamilton. Fuck out of here. No, thank you. Thanks for playing. Okay. But yeah, I love everybody. So that was what happened. That's one of the big things that happened this week. Now, the next thing I want to get into, the next thing, this is coming out. These are actually going to come out on, I think I want to put them out on Fridays. And the reason why is because so many people put podcasts out on Mondays, including a lot of the ones that I watch. And by the way, salute to my dog, Squints615, for dropping his podcast. I've been waiting for this for a minute. I look forward to being a part of some of the episodes if he wants me to be. And it is, I got some shit to say. This is a dude that I did music with. He's been one of my homies for years, 10 plus years. He's got him a podcast. He uploaded his first episode. I'll put the link to his YouTube channel for the podcast in the description box. He interviewed somebody from let's see. Let me pull him up here. He's got him an interview. Let's see. Squint615. Boom. His first episode is with special guest John Kilmer. Now, John Kilmer is with, Mike, I don't know if anybody's familiar with Mike Stud. Really dope artist. They've got podcasts too. They've got a podcast called called the Wine K Podcast. They also have an upcoming podcast called Ball Don't Lie with Johnny Manziel and Mike Stud. So salute to the dog Squints15, man. I'm really excited to see how his podcast comes along. I know he's going to have huge guest on there. So salute to him. I'm excited about it. So salute to Squint. Sorry for that little brain fart, but shout out to my dog, man. Y'all hit that subscribe button on Squints and stuff. So boom. What came out this week movie wise, man? Let's see. 4Ks. I'm excited. I'm waiting for Amazon to drop my shit off. They're supposed to drop it off Tuesday, and they just blame everything on Pandies. You got some old titles getting released on 4K this past week. You had Coming to America, one of my favorite movies, comedy-wise. You got Beverly Hills Cop. You had, I want to say, Blade. All those got 4K releases, which all old school movies. I've been buying a ton of horror movies again lately. Been excited about that. Been watching a lot of old school shit. Just because there's not a lot of options right now as far as, you can't go to the movies and see much of anything right now. Stuff is kind of, there's some good, dope shows though. I will say that. We talked about it last week. I need to finish The Outsider. I'm on episode 7. I'm starting to kind of lose, I don't know, man. It's starting to get a little muddy. Like, it's just getting a little bit too, I don't know. I need to finish it out, though. It's got 3 episodes left. Also, I need to finish up Stranger Things, and I need to, I know I'm way behind the curve on that. And I need to finish up good old-fashioned Ozark. I need to rewatch season 2 because it's been a minute. I watched season 1 twice. I need to rewatch season 2 and then just power through that and then go to season 3. I've just been beast moding through a lot of wrestling podcasts that I got to catch up on. There's so many podcasts that I listen to, man. I'm up to date with all of my comedy ones. My main ones that I watch every Monday is Two Bears, One Cave with Bert Kreischer and Tom Segura. And then Bad Friends with Andrew Santino and Bobby Lee. Those are both Monday. And I actually listen to Christina, Tom's wife's podcast too. She's funny. Where my mom's at, she's really funny. But there's so much that happens. I just listened to Tiger Belly before I uploaded this one. Bobby Lee and his girlfriend's podcast. They had Bill Burr on there this week. Absolutely love Bill Burr. He's one of my favorite stand-ups. However, he's one of my favorite stand-up comedians. But I'll say this. Not a huge fan of Bill Burr as guest on podcast. Just because it's always some kind... This one wasn't as bad, but like in the past when Bill Burr's been a guest on other people's podcasts, it's always awkward. The interaction's always awkward. But as a stand-up comedian, he's one of my favorites, bar none. And it's kind of weird how that works, right? Like, so there's people that I'm a huge fan of their podcasts, like Fighter and the Kid, Brennan Schaub, and King and the Sting, Theo Vaughn and Brendan Schaub. Theo's my favorite to watch on podcast. his stand-up to me is funny, but it's not as funny as his podcast. You know what I'm saying? It's weird how that works. Santino is just hilarious. And shout out to the homie Jelly Roll, too, for being a guest on King and the Sting. That was really cool to see, being such a fan of that. Seeing him on that show. Hopefully, Theo will get Upchurch on there, too, at some point. That'll be pretty GOAT level status. But yeah, shout out to all them. But yeah, man, it's just been, just repeating shit one day after the other, man. Your own pandemic situation, and it's getting around the holiday season. Shout out to DJ Drama. By the way, Lil Wayne dropped No Ceilings 3. When it comes to mixtape shit, Lil Wayne is GOAT status, bro. Nobody can fuck with mixtape Lil Wayne. They just can't do it. They just can't do it. But holiday, with it being holiday season right now, it's kind of a situation where it's just so weird. Like Thanksgiving happened, and I got to spend it with my family, luckily. But so many people had their get-togethers like cut into like a fraction of what it normally is, and I get it's all for the sake of COVID and stuff like that. But with it, it's just rough, man. They're talking about shutting stuff down again. I live in Tennessee, where stuff is still open as of right now, as I'm recording this. But we all know how that goes. It could change any week. But what you gonna do? You know what I'm saying? Big whoop. Want to fight about it? Ain't shit you can do, Chad. Shut your fat ass up and get to moving along. Moving on up to the east side. But yeah, man. I'm excited, man. I'm excited about doing the podcast. If y'all have got ideas y'all want me to talk about on the podcast, let me know. You know what I'm saying? If y'all want me to do certain segments, if there's any kind of segments y'all like me to do, or, just anything, I'm down for ideas. Now, here's something I want to rant about, okay? I am a diehard Vanderbilt fan. I have been for 37 years on this earth. I just turned 37. My birthday was this past Monday. So, thank you very much, everybody. I'm a diehard Vanderbilt fan, okay? Now, this past Saturday, Vanderbilt played Missouri, I think. We hadn't won a fucking game all year. Our football program has been a joke for the last 4 years, thanks to our horrible coach, Derek Mason, right? Terrible. Finally got rid of him after this week. So with an 0-7 record, can't score, can't play defense, we decide we're going to have the first female kicker to play college football, okay? She played on the Vanderbilt soccer team. I think she was like the goalkeeper or whatever. She was the Goldberg of the Vanderbilt women's soccer team. So they say she's going to be our kicker for that game, which immediately made me think, well, why? What's going on? And then I was like, okay, well, if she can kick, fine. I mean, what's it hurt if she can kick, So all this hype going into the game, forgetting the fact that we haven't won a game. Nobody talks about that. We don't even get it past the 50-yard line in the first half. So she doesn't even have an opportunity to come in the ballgame. Coming out of the second half, we're kicking off. So in comes this female, I forgot her name. In comes this kicker. I think we're down 17 or 24-0 at this point. She comes in and kicks the ball maybe 15 yards, 20 yards. Now, they tried to say she perfectly executed a squib kick. Y'all are full of fucking shit. There was no reason to squib kick the ball. We were down. We hadn't scored. There was no point of squib kicking. She shanks the ball and kicks it 15, 20 yards and gets a standing ovation from the 11 people that were allowed in the building due to COVID. And it's become this hero all across the board. She's doing all these interviews. They ended up saying after the fact, she did a pep talk at halftime. Are you fucking kidding me? What? We lost 41-0, guys. And I say we because I am a Vanderbilt fan. We lost 41-0. And not one time was us getting our ass whipped ever brought up. It's all about this female kicker. Oh, she made this. What did she do, bro? You're telling me that person that came in was better than anybody else on our team. The water boy could have kicked the ball 15 yards. Vanderbilt has turned into a program that is so so terrible at football program, that instead of dealing with that, they're trying to be these social justice warriors. And I'm done with their football program. After 37 years, I'm still going to watch their basketball program. I'm still going to support their baseball squad. But their football program, I am done. I'm done, bro. I'm done. This was it. They fired Derek Mason the day after that. But now it's coming out in the news that a lot of players aren't even going to make the trip to go play Georgia. But they made it a point to say she'll definitely, like, it's all about this chick, man. And it's no shade to her. But it doesn't, it's making our program, like, they're not even caring about us having a good program. So it just makes me so mad. But it is, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? You can't do shit about it. They're giving out participation trophies in 2020. Fuck Eddie. But that's what grinds my gears, man. Grinds the dog shit out of my gears. But when in Rome, dude, shit your pants. You know what I'm saying? I love all of y'all. I'm hoping that we get some keep this traction going with the podcast, or the Bobcast, I should say. Again, I would love to have this elaborate video set up and a podcast producer and editors, but I just don't have the time, or I just don't have the time, really. If I wanted to do it, I could. I just don't have the time to do it. Come on, buddy. Come on. He's freaking out. Come on, man. Get up here. Shit or get off the pot, dog. So it just works best this way. You know what I mean? But we're working on some. I'm thinking about working on some new music the first of the year. It's just been tough, man. It's been tough. You know, my last album did very well. It's the best any of my albums have done in the past. So salute to everybody that picked up 22, the album. I appreciate all that support. I've tried to write over the last few months, and it's just, I've always been the kind of guy where it'll come in like droves, where I'll go 3 or 4 months and not write a song, and then I'll write 10 songs in 2 weeks. That's kind of how my stuff's always came about. And I don't ever try to force it. So I'd love to try to work on a new album, but I don't know if it comes to me, it comes to me. You know what I'm saying? But it's pretty crazy, man. It's a crazy world that we've been living in the last 9 months, man. We're 9 months in this thing. This is being uploaded on December the 4th, and it's crazy to think that this is what, I hear you, Valen. He's just a huge sigh of relief. It's crazy to think that if you would have told me a year ago, Chad, next year, y'all are going to be in a pandemic for the entire year. Businesses are going to close down. You're going to wear masks everywhere. You're not going to be able to do anything but curbside pickup. You can't go into restaurants. You can't go to the movie theaters. Sports are going to have empty stadiums. There's going to be no touring artists, no touring comedians. I would have looked at you and slapped you across the face and told you to go shit your pants somewhere. But sure enough, that's what we're living in. You know, it just goes to show you that you never know. You never time for the time for the segment of the podcast where we try to say something motivational and end up getting weird, awkward, and silly. You know, sometimes when people tell you that you can't do something, just go do it, okay? Just don't listen to them. Just go do the shit, man. Some really original advice that was told to me by God, and I wanted to share it with y'all. You know, I wanted to share it with everybody, let everybody know that what I just said was groundbreaking. Nobody's ever said that, and I just wanted to let y'all know first. Dun. You know what I mean? So, shout out to the Mario Brothers, man. I used to love that video game, dude. Now, look, Mario Brothers 2, I think it was super overhyped. Loved Mario Brothers 1. Mario Brothers 3 was fire. Whenever they introduced that leaf into the equation where you could fly around and shit, look, dude, that may have been in part 2. I don't remember, but part 3 is where I remember it. And that's when they leveled up. That's when the Mario Brothers really leveled up their shit. Once you could get that in the game, and then I learned a lot of the cheat codes from that movie, The Wizard, with Fred Savage. Shout out to them. I remember those. That was fun. But then once it got to the Super Nintendo and you had Super Mario World or whatever it was called, look, guys, the gloves were off, okay? You talking about you could save your progress? Oh, my God, dude. And then you had Super Mario All-Stars or whatever it was called. Golly, dude. Mario Bros. Was the shit. Mario World introduced Yoshi into the building, and I think Super Mario World is hands down the best Mario game ever. And if you think differently, your vote doesn't count. Mine does. Welcome to 2020. So yeah, Chaddy Bobcast, baby. We're still chugging. Chugga. Choo-choo. But I'm really trying to think of some cool ideas for the show, man. We'd like to keep it to 30 minutes, but there's not really any set time frame. It's just really till I get tired of talking. But if I'm down the road, if I'm able to like bring in like guests via Skype, and record the audio that way or however I need to do it, I think that'll be dope. And I think that'll be a way to bounce stuff off the other guests to where we can have longer podcasts if y'all want. I think 30 minutes is cool. I mean, I'm usually, all the podcasts I listen to are an hour and more. I can't do those Joe Rogan podcasts, man, where they're like 4.5 hours. I got to listen to them in like 3 different chunks. Usually an hour and 45 minutes is my max, like for one sitting. If it's more than that, like I got to break it up. You know what I mean? Chad, nobody gives a fuck about your fucking lack of attention. Your attention span is in nobody's fucking I give a fuck. What? My give a damn's busted. I remember some country chick said that song back in the day. My give a damn's busted. Yeah, well, so is your hymen. Chaddy Bobcast. We're surviving, baby. We're surviving, man. I really do apologize to everybody for not bringing y'all weekly uploads, all this pandy. Because y'all could have really used it. I was doing a lot of content on YouTube, the last 5 months. Salute to Fragrance Frankie, RIP Fragrance Frankie. Oh, man. But, yeah, it's been a fun ride, man. 2020 is definitely a year that I will never be able to get out of my mind. Had some really good stuff happen. And then the pandemic's happened. What if that's how I talked? I don't know if I'd have near as many friends as I do now. I think if I talked like and I couldn't talk faster, imagine if I talked an entire podcast in that tone, inflection, and speed. Where if I was like, welcome to the ChaddyBobby podcast. It's called the what is it called? Hang on. Chaddy Bobcast. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Hopefully you had good days and nobody peed in your Cheerios, or hopefully you put on your Depends the right way and didn't have to exchange them and stuff. And hopefully one day you can get up and be okay, What if that's how Oh my God. I'm totally stone cold sober. I'm on my lunch break at work. I can't even drink if I wanted to. Oh my gosh, man. I love everybody, dude. I hope everybody has fun. Period. I mean, just have fun, okay? Episode 34 of the Chaddy Bobcast. Hashtag Bo Jackson. Bo Jackson's career ended way too soon. And so will this podcast. I love you.